fashion, himbo fitness, himbo grooming, himbo science. We are the himbos, we are not bimbos. We are the himbos, we are not bimbos. We are the himbos, himbos, yeah. Coming gonna tell you how to do your hair.
Oh.
Ooh, you're getting off on this, baby.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Himbos. It's your boy, the White D'Angelo, Justin Silver. I can't wait for this to kick in. Sitting here with the granite songbird himself, Josh Adam Myers.
Everybody say, we are the bimbos, we are not himbos.
Here it comes.
We are the himbos.
That's right.
Yeah.
Guys with beards, you know you like this in your car.
Himbos.
Yeah. And if you are
Not
watching
bimbos.
on YouTube, you will see that we are coming to you live from Club Karma down the Jersey Shore. Josh and I just hit the tanning salon, rubbed on some Andro gel, and got a pre-pump. So please hit that like and subscribe button and meet us up here in the VIP.
Dude, I want to use this beat for the Himbos remix. Himbos, not bimbos, yeah. Himbos,
There you go, baby.
not bimbos, yeah. Himbos.
And for all of you listening on iTunes, thank you for the 5-star ratings and reviews. Please keep them coming, and each week we will send one person one of those retro Himbos t-shirts with us. As always, I hope I get this. Oh, boom.
Fuck off, dude.
With us, as always, hair freshly braided and beaded on the boardwalk. It is our producer and engineer extraordinaires, Care Bear and Natalie. Hello, ladies.
I want to back up what Justin just said. I don't think you guys realize how much fun him and I are having making this, and the questions you guys send in, the comments, it means everything, and it lets us know that you're enjoying it. So please, guys, just keep sending, keep commenting, keep reposting, and I promise, if you do that, we are going to make sure that your fashion, your fitness, your hair protocol, your skin, your philosophy dropping at the bar with your friends, and you'll know how to split an atom. That's an upcoming episode where Justin...
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in my eyeball.
He's going to do nuclear fission in his left eye that's been busted for 8 years.
Yes, this is a lot of fun. All right, let's get into this episode. Josh and I... Sore head and sore mouth today, everybody. It was Himbo maintenance day yesterday.
I didn't even think about calling it that. It was like we got the most himbo-y things done. Yours isn't embarrassing. Mine is embarrassing.
No, it's the opposite. No, yours has a caveat to it. That's caveat, cavity, and caveat. Josh was at the dentist. Justin got hair P.R.P. and we have questions. We got hair questions today, so this is the perfect day for me to be post P.R.P. But you went to the... Go ahead.
I just love that people are like, God, it's like, what do I do with my product? Let me ask the himbos real quick. Let's find out. And scoodle-doo.
Can I be honest with you? Listen, I'm not going to shine a light on myself or toot my own horn on a lot of things, but when it comes to this subject, so many doctors that I have seen couldn't answer questions from the amount of research that I did, because of the anxiety that I had as a result of it. But I'm going to wait till this question comes in to discuss this further. But I know my fucking shit on this subject.
I know you do.
I really do.
Let's backtrack a little bit. Something stuck out in that last sentence. I don't want to toot my own horn. You are the king of horn tooting.
Am I?
Oh, my God. I'd be like, dude, I just went on a date. And you're like, I went out on a date. And
I'm talking about the 10s I date.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Nice drop. No, it's like, this is what I love about you is that you get into something. You must have been an incredible student because you just become fascinated by the science and the doodads behind everything.
The worst student ever. But I had terrible OCD as a kid, terrible anxiety and OCD. But the things that I would focus on, school not being one of them, was art. And I would not do any schoolwork. That's why I got sent to that boarding school when I was 15, because I stopped going to school.
You ever see the movie Sleepers, everybody? Justin went through that.
By the way, the movie that they made, they were going to make a movie about the school that I went to, and Sleepers was the one they made instead, but it was very close to that. The school that we went to, that's why we were mentioning the tattoo I got last episode, the OTR, which means on the road, because me and all my boys who ran away from that finally got together after 25 years, and we all got OTR tattoos, which is what they would label you at the school when you ran away from it.
Yeah, and the alternative title for your movie was Nappers.
But the things that I would focus on, like art, like I wouldn't do schoolwork, but I'd stay up for like 3 days straight just working on like a painting or something. So if my brain is focused on something, that's what I obsess about. So it's like school to me just wasn't interesting.
No, I think of the same way. It's like my sister was the dialed in one that did well in school. She was a doctor, never got in trouble, and I was just into music and art.
Right.
You know, and making up my own language.
Yeah.
Like, that's I should start a cult. And
One of the questions
dudes.
is actually about this today. It's about like passions and drives and stuff. We got really good questions today. So we'll but you went to the dentist and I was like, good. I love going to the dentist. And Josh said to me, I haven't been to the dentist in
20, almost 25 years. Is that a long time? Yeah. Well, fuck all of you.
How do you have teeth?
Because I still brush. I brush my teeth and I floss. I use floss sticks. I don't like the regular floss.
Yeah, the floss sticks are great.
Well, can I, in my defense, and I'll say
I'm not accusing you of anything.
I felt like I was being judged.
No, this is concern.
Especially when Care Bear went, oh my God.
Did you get bullied by your dentist for not going?
He touched my penis. He touched my dick. And I enjoyed it. So it really made me feel weird. And, you know, and now that it's 2022 and everybody's gay, I was like, that's cool. I can now go back to the dentist. And I actually looked at the guy and I was like, listen, if you want to touch my dick, feel free.
Was he hot?
No, it was a girl. It was actually...
Really? He was a girl?
Old Jewish, not even old. I don't want to even say that. Let me back up.
Go.
So the reason I didn't go to the dentist was because I had braces from 9th grade to 12th grade, and then my senior year, I had TMJ surgery. So I had like my whole jaw cut out. I have 4 screws, a metal wire, 2 steel plates.
Really?
Yeah, and that was my senior year too. So that's like me coming into my own. Dude, look at pictures of me.
Getting hot.
I was cute, dude. I didn't have frosted tips yet. That was 1990.
Did you? Shut up.
I was a raver, dude.
Yeah. Dude, so was I.
Yeah.
Josh, you're such a himbo. I love it. I love it.
I'm not a himbo. I had frosted tips because that was what was in. And I had the Clooney cut because that was what was in.
Yes.
The Clooney cut was in.
Baggy clothes?
Oh, my God. Jinkos, UFOs.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, I was like...
Platform shoes?
Oh God!
Just the running sneakers.
No, I would do like airwalks, or I would do these like hip Adidas. But it was all about like basketball jersey, no shirt.
Yeah, big, dress like a cartoon, basically.
Yeah, and I have a couple pictures. Like I'll find them and I'll send them. We'll put them on the Himbo's website.
I have them too.
See, this is the thing, though.
Patreon.
You know what? Pay us to see our mistakes.
I'm going to start a Patreon.
Pay us. No, we should. We should.
We're going to.
Guys, everybody out there, help support us because we want to pay for.
Is that the Clooney cut?
That is the Clooney cut.
Yeah.
With the frosted tips on the front.
Or another one would have been like fucking Russell in Gladiator. That's also like the
Caesar
Clooney
cut. You like comb it forward, right?
That was so in like the late 90s, early 90s. Yeah. And so I have the jaw surgery, and it was miserable, man. Like I couldn't eat solid food for like 3 months. I remember on my birthday I had a breakdown, and my mom was just like, they were eating roast chicken, like rotisserie chicken from the Lancaster Dutch Market, and I had to eat like mush again, and I was like, fuck it, I can't take this, and I ripped a piece of chicken, and I just ripped like a shred off, and I like put it on my tongue, and it was like trying to get it back to swallow it. And so it was such a miserable experience, okay? And then the braces came off, and they were like, they look great, you're good to go. I just, I think it was right around that time the dental insurance kind of wore off, or maybe my parents didn't take me, or I don't know what it was. I just never went. And then I was doing drugs for years and going to raves, and then I started being in bands, and I started getting to college, and I was doing all that shit. And then I moved to L.A., and I had no money, and nothing hurt. Nothing hurt.
I get that.
It was all, and they might be, my niece called them yellow, but... and she's a dumb bitch. What does she know? She's 13.
Right. She doesn't know her colors. You don't learn that until you're fucking in your 20s.
Yellow means I lived, bitch.
Let me see. Smile. No, you have good teeth.
Look, where's the camera?
You have good teeth.
Straight. You're on that camera.
This one's chipped. I just noticed. She told me that last night. But she said that's one that's okay to be chipped. So here's the thing.
Go.
All these are good. I got a couple in the back. Little hot. Little suspect. You know what I mean?
Soft.
Yeah, just they don't assimilate with your body anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like your whole body, like you only realize you're wearing a shirt when you go feel the shirt in your brain and you suddenly feel it. So everything just molds into one. You're like an X-Men. Human beings we forget about everything we got on, our knees. We don't think about it unless there's a pain or unless you try to go, feel my toes. And then you feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, this is the science, bro.
No, I'm thinking about what kind of spiritual music for when you go on a rant. I'm gonna put on
Get that one. That's like Enigma. All right, but I just hadn't gone to the dentist, and then I was Nick got married in New Orleans, so I went to the wedding, and I went to Cafe Du Monde to get a beignet because I was waiting for my hotel to get ready.
Josh, you're so fucking sexy when you speak French. Cafe Du Monde to get a beignet. You got to start smoking your vape like this, and this way, and wear like a red ascot.
So I do not have cavity. No, I just been into a beignet, a beignet. And I just felt something. It was like a little sensitive. And so luckily I just got SAG health insurance.
It's the best health insurance.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you. I only have it for a year.
But then you get Cobra.
What's Cobra?
With the copay thing where it's like cheap. Can you look up Cobra?
Isn't Cobra like when you're switching between?
Is when you get off health insurance, there's this other company that steps in, and then you just pay for it, but it's the same insurance at a very discounted rate. It's awesome. You basically have insurance for 2 years, Josh. You're good.
Oh, thank God. Because
your teeth are not going to fall out until 2024.
Yeah, fuck. So here's what's cool is that I had met, those guys that run Comedy Underground? They do shows all around. They're about to do one at Cats. Big shout out to them, Ethan and David. They're great guys. Ethan's mom and dad are dentists. And I did a show, and I had a great set. It was right around my birthday. I was really deep. I was like go ahead.
Was the show at 2:30 p.m.? Excuse me.
Jeez, Paul McGee, dude. So I meet them. They like me, and then she's like, "We're dentists." I'm like, "Oh man, I haven't been to a dentist forever." And she goes, "Whatever you want." She's like, "We'll help you. We'll take care of you." I was like, "I didn't have dental insurance at the time," so she's like, "We'll work with you. Don't worry." And then I got it when I found out I had Delta Dental. Then I hit up Ethan because I try to go to your dentist, but you go to fucking the Jersey Shore. Like he does Paulie C's teeth.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Dominic Galasso.
Nice. Yeah,
he's the best. He's got a tattoo on his arm of barbed wire. Comes out to my shows, and Madonna is sometimes in the waiting room. He's the man.
Justin is the typical New York guy.
Yep.
If whatever you need, I could be like, God, my grandma's got cancer. He's like, really? I got an oncologist that'll take it from a stage 4 down to a stage 2.
I got a guy that could spackle your ceiling, kill somebody, and neuter your dog in the same day if you need it.
Renaissance man.
Literally, I was like, oh man, I need a dermatologist. Got one. I need a skin dude. You just have somebody, and so I try to go to his. They do not take the dental insurance, so I hit up Ethan. Luckily, his mom did. You want to guess how many cavities after 25 years of not going to the dentist? All of you, go ahead.
I kind of know because I think you told me, so I'll let the ladies guess.
How many?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Carolina on this one.
1, 4.
Oh.
All in the back?
4.
My gut said 4. I don't know why I didn't go with my gut.
You got to go with your gut on the show.
Yeah,
now.
man.
We want you to go with your gut. I think message to the listeners: always go with your gut.
Trust yourself.
Gut health is important.
Health is important. Always go with your gut. Don't let yourself go bald.
I feel like we should change that for the himbos of the world and say always follow your 6-pack.
Always follow your 6-pack.
Your 6-pack.
Go with your gut.
Yeah, man.
So it's under there even if you're mush on top. So 4 cavities. They pull anything?
No, this is how great she was, man. She's making me a mouth guard for my snoring because I told her, she's like, do you have sleep apnea? I'm like, I don't, but I snore because every time a girl spends the night, I wake up and she's always in my living room. And then this one girl recorded me, and she was like, this is how bad you are.
Wait, do you have that recorded? Can we play that next time?
Yeah, I'll get it, and we'll play it. No, we'll play it next time.
I'm going to use it for something. I'm going to use it for something.
Justin loves a good drop.
I love a drop.
So long story short, I got to give her a shout out, and I'll do it next episode when I go pick up because I want to get all the information. Because if you're in New York, you got to go to her. I think her last name is Mansour. She gave me the mouth guard. We're doing the cavities next week. We're going to fix this side completely.
Good.
And the best part, she came back and she brought me like a $300 toothbrush. And she's like, this is a present, early Hanukkah gift from Ethan and I to you. And I was like, oh my God.
$300 $300 toothbrush?
Hey, like $250.
Does it have a fucking vagina on one side of it?
It's one of the goodies, dude. It's one of the good. And then they taught me how to brush properly.
I know. Yeah.
I
Don't
didn't
scrub.
know.
Don't scrub.
It's a circle.
Circle. Try not to hit the gum line too hard on the way up, pulling on the way down.
Yeah, because you want to bring it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I know.
But I'm stoked, man. You have great teeth, dude.
Thank you.
Justin has a great smile.
Thank you, Josh.
He's a
Did
typical.
you bite your tongue when you smile?
Isn't it cute?
Don't do it.
No, don't tell me what not to do.
You're like,
It's very cute. Okay, I'm
Justin
sorry.
knows how to be cute. Justin's a cutie patootie.
Listen, I have to work against my fucking douchebaggy looks, which I am not one, but I have to work against them as much as possible.
Why do
It
you
is
think-
a constant uphill battle?
Why do you think that you have a douchebag? You don't look like a douchebag.
Ladies, let me ask you, everybody who like meets me and gets to know me says this. They're like, "Oh, I didn't think you'd be as like nice and sensitive. You look like you'd be an asshole." Doesn't? And I'm like, yeah, and that's been the case. Like, maybe it's because we're in comedy and most people are like, you know.
Don't say it.
I'm not, but it's like, but most people are like, you look like you'd be an asshole. I'm like, no, I'm fucked up and broken and have OCD and problems and all this, and I'm considerate and kind and love animals. Like, but doesn't it seem that way? Like, I look like I'd be kind of douchey.
You look like you could be a bad guy in like a teen comedy. You know what I mean? Like you're Scott Farkas from
Right, I'm like-
from
right.
A Christmas
but then
Story.
you smile.
Then I
and
smile,
Everything
and my little tongue
changes.
comes out. Listen, I'm glad you're taking care of that. The fucking dentist, dude. Oral hygiene. First of all, on a lady, I have to say, my biggest turn on is like nice teeth.
Yeah,
It's important. You got to take care of your teeth. I brush my dog's teeth every day.
I give greenies.
Gotta
You
brush
can
those
die
teeth.
from having bad.
Yeah, the
dental
bacteria
health.
goes down. Same with
Totally.
dogs. It goes down. Bacteria gets in your bloodstream. It also does.
to your
It also
heart.
goes down your esophagus, and it can cause heart failure. I don't think that's going to be the case with Josh. He's got a lot of other carcinogens in his body that he needs to worry about before that.
I am.
But I'm glad you're on top of it.
All of you. You guys are gonna die way before me. I mean, like I said, dude. If you do drugs and then you clean up your life and you press the limits like I did, like, dude, my fucking organs are jacked.
Yeah, but they're like also like super organs because they've been through hell. They're like Holocaust survivors that lived to like 94, like my grandma. They're like, nah, we went through so much shit at the age of 16.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit about this fucking asbestos paint. We'll just
Yeah.
eat it. We don't give a fuck. You did that.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I got P.R.P, and I'll explain the process of this. I should be totally bald. I started like losing my hair in my 20s, and I've done like every intervention thing that you can do because I can't get hair transplants because I'm not a candidate for them because I don't have thick enough
Yeah,
donor hair to do
yeah.
it. So I've had to research all the different things that are possible over the course of the years, and as a result, like, you know, I managed to keep like nice hair. Which
Yeah,
has
you
been
really
important.
do.
Thank you.
I like. So, do you have like pictures of you when you were balding?
It was I don't think it was mostly on the top and the back, so you wouldn't see it that much. But it was like I have what's called just diffusion. So instead of like a hairline going back or just one spot, it's like it's diffusion of the hairs all over the top of my head, so it just gets thinner and thinner and thinner. Someone asked a question about this, so I want to save that. But I'm definitely like sore because, you know, you're definitely sore the next day. It's like a tattoo needle is basically how it works.
So why don't you tell everybody what that is? Because I researched it a little bit a while ago, and I know a bunch of big comics that got it done.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we get into the questions, because the first question is about this, and then I'll answer that, and I'll also go through like the different things that people can do, so we're not. Can we do
Okay.
it that way? All right, so let's go to some of these questions because I know that's what the first one was.
I had a Raya date last night, though.
Wait. Go.
It was awesome.
Go.
It was awesome, guys.
Go.
Here's what I never have done this ever. We matched, and she let off. She goes, "We meet again," and I was like, "We've matched before." She's like, "Yes, we have." And I was like, "All right, let's skip all the mustard. Let's go right to the meat." And I was like, "Let's go out. Let's go out Monday night." She's like, "Done." So I'm like, "Cool." And then I remember that I was doing that co-headlining thing with the Wolves of Glendale at Chelsea Music Hall. So I was like, fuck, dude. And I say to her, I go, listen, I got a show at 9:30. I'm leaving town.
By the way, such a turn on from her perspective. Look at Care Bear. She's like, if some guy was like, listen,
got a show, I'm
shit, I have this show.
Slide off the chair.
Right?
Oh, well, and this is the thing, and I never do this. I go, if you want to come to the show, like, you're more than welcome to come. And I was like, but I'm going to be busy until it's over. And she's like,
Come watch
yeah,
me control the stage.
dude.
John, you really are impressive when you're in your element. You are.
And so the Wolves of Glendale did their half-hour set. They are incredible. Go look up Wolves of Glendale. They are such talented comedy musicians. And then they played backing band to me. and I just did like 48 minutes of just musical stand-up-y, like what I do in my hour now. And dude, it was like this crowd was not for me. They were not saying they're not for me. They just are not.
They weren't like this goddamn Comedy Jam crowd. They weren't expecting that.
It was no, dude. Wolves of Glendale killed it, but I had to fucking work. And then once I got him, it was like for like a good strong half hour. It was just like, oh, this is like in the bag right now. And I would like look at her, and she looked great. And so we would like.
What'd she look like?
Oh, fuck. I want to say she looks like Rooney Mara.
Who's that? Can we bring her up?
Rooney Mara or like Claire Forlani, I think is her name.
Claire Forlani.
Yeah, look up both of them. But she's like...
Claire Forlani is gorgeous. Claire Forlani was the girl who was in Meet Joe Black. Is that Claire
that's who
Forlani?
she is. That's what
that girl is...
That's not... Go to Claire Forlani.
How do I spell Claire?
CLAIRE.
Or you can go cast of...
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Here, I'll even pull
Care
this up.
Bear's the bomb on spelling. I mean, I get whipped when I send her these write-ups. She's like, what fucking language is this? Claire Forlani. We got... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what she looks like. A little bit younger, but a little younger version.
She's got that
of
smoky look in her eyes, like there's like she's got her head out the window, and it's just like too windy while you're driving in the car.
Yeah.
It's dreamy.
Here, this is her. This is her.
Wait, you gonna show me the Raya girl?
Yeah, I'm not.
Don't put it on the screen. Just give it to me. Josh is going through his matches. Let me see. Let me see this. Oh fuck! I fucked it up. Oh wait. Okay. Oh yeah, weigh in. This is great. I'll show you girls after this. I can't face on the camera.
She's gorgeous.
She really is.
She's like a model.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I put it up to the screen.
She's beautiful and very naturally beautiful looking, right?
Oh,
ladies?
wow.
Nice.
Total Betty.
Yeah.
Total Betty, right?
And so, dude, I fucking murder it.
Good.
I hate saying that, people. I'm sorry. I had a great time.
Listen, you're allowed to stroke yourself a little bit on these kind of things because like you do hard stuff and it's fucking cool.
But let me say this to all the listeners out there, not even listeners, the haters that are like, is that what Josh is going to do again, sing? Yeah, because that's what I fucking do and no one else can do it. Not one person in this fucking industry can do what I do. And if you're going to make fun of it...
No one's
I'm sorry. Somebody tweeted something, and I was like...
Who cares? Who cares? Someone's commenting on something another man does without being like, hey, man, I really appreciate the content. You're such a fucking... Dude, when people are like, with negative comments, I'm like, you're sitting there watching me and going, he does this. I'm like, what? How do you not have something else to do?
Yeah.
Like, I never take that shit personally. I'm like... Okay,
you're right. No, you're right.
Fuck?
You're Justin.
Who gives a fuck? Like some hater on the. I'm like, ooh, I give a shit.
Anymore, yeah.
Thank you. I'll be over here doing something while you're sitting there observing from a distance. You ever? Heck, can I just say something?
Help me.
I'm gonna say that this is important. Care Bear, can you bring up the man in the arena quote? I'm gonna put this as the clip this week. Can you bring up the
man by Teddy Roosevelt?
Yes, bring up the man in the arena. I'm gonna read this. This is for people who like are subject to haters or people who are doing things that they believe in doing. And there's criticism. I have this in my house and I read it sometimes and it just fucking nullifies it. Okay. Can you make it bigger?
Yeah, your old eyes can't see that shit.
Okay, I got it. Ready? I got it. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotion, who spends himself in worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails when daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory or defeat. The cold and timid souls who sit there on so fuck all of you.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't have to give them any attention.
Thanks, Mr. Roosevelt.
You like that?
That was a goodie.
There you go. There's some spirituality for this week.
Do you just have that like on like all painted on your wall?
No,
because that's the longest quote. I thought this was about to be like a 2-word, like up the butt, no babies.
Someone that one too. I think Teddy Roosevelt did that one too. No, so you know what? It used to bug me when I got criticism, and it was when I had the TV show on CBS, and I get criticism from other dog trainers about like this. They were just being petty because they were like, "How come I didn't get this?"
Yeah.
And someone sent me that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Like, you're not the one who like hustled to get this shit where I got it. Who did like you're not living my life. And it was just like, and ever since then, no criticism bothered me. So when people like leave comments or negative comments or this kind of thing on whatever social media, I'm just like, that's what you're doing. Like, I can't think of the amount of times, even when I've been annoyed by other performers or anything, where I've actually thought like, here, let me just try to stick a knife in them on my little keypad. I'm like, how much of a pussy are you?
Yeah.
Like, then go do something better, or
you're-
listen to something else. Like, how much of a fucking little twat are you?
Yeah, everything you're saying is 100% right.
It's pathetic.
I just want to be like, I just want to say to these people, all right, well, yes, I sing, but come see me. Come see me live.
Yeah, and if you don't, and by the way, and there's people I know who are like, oh, Josh this, Josh that. I'm like, go watch him do the jam. Like, me and Jay were sitting there, we're like, dude, when dude, it's fucking awesome. It's awesome.
Thanks, man.
It's awesome. And like, you're not someone who doesn't annoy me. You know, you annoy me daily. And I'm like, yeah, but Josh is fucking awesome at this. Cool.
Oh.
So there you go. And that's
You
the truth.
annoy
That's
me
how
too,
I
dude.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm annoying too. But it's like, you know what? There's things that I'm good at.
I thought you were about to have a breakdown earlier today, and we had to move studio time. I was like, this.
No.
You can just hear the steam coming to Justin's ears, like.
No, here's the thing. But I love the team, and I know that like as we do this project, I respect Gas Digital for housing us here and
for sure.
all the staff here. And I know that when you're starting off a project, all the nuts and bolts that got to get put together. So if there's little mistakes that happen, that's how the learning process happens. I make them, Cabra makes them, Natalie makes them, we all make them. So it's like, I'm just glad that we're here and we're able to do this.
And to all the haters, I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, you can hate on us because you'll be hating on us when we're getting thousands of dollars a month.
Hundreds of dollars.
From Kettlebell sponsorship, you fucking nanooks.
Yes, Natalie.
Camera 2 is your camera, by the way.
Josh.
Talking to the
I'm looking at that.
There you go.
All
right.
I have a better side profile. That's why I did it.
Are you going to see her again?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was off to the races, and then we found she's a little Italian restaurant in the Lower East Side that we could go to. I think it was like
Vincent's?
No. It's there's one right by Jay's old place on 5th, but then there's a small
Frank.
So we went to Lil Frank's.
So sexy, right?
Very sexy.
That's my favorite date spot, ladies.
But what was also funny is there was nobody in the restaurant, and they sat us at this one table, and then every employee sat at the table next to us because it was by the fucking
just watching you to hurry up so they could fucking leave.
I mean, they'd be like, can you just order? But we're not rushing you out. Trust me, we're not. But just order, and here's all of your food at once, including the dessert. And I was like,
can we have silverware? They give it to you in a cup.
Oh, dude, when I asked for Parmesan cheese, I thought their fucking brains were gonna blow up.
They gave you the to-go one in the little plastic thing?
There was a huge bowl, and I was like, I can just get it. I can just go get it. And they were just like, they had like a hierarchy you had to get
I'm rooting for you with this chick, man. She's
we'll
beautiful.
see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Great
I'm having
attitude.
fun. I don't know, like, we definitely gelled. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of like, she's definitely hot. She's got tattoos, which, looks-wise, it would be like, oh, this is like, this is a mate.
Yes.
But let's see. Let's just see.
I'm happy for you, man. That's great. Let's get into some of these listener questions, all right?
Yes. Keep sending them to us, guys. Keep sending the questions. I know. But I'm just...
The haters know you don't like them. The listeners who like us know to send questions. Does everybody have it? Does everybody listening have it?
Fuck up,
Make a little mental note. Everybody has it, right?
Annoying. Annoying.
DM Josh that you have it.
Yeah. Dude, in any of the tweets that you put, hashtag... We know.
We know, Josh. Okay.
3 O's.
All right. Our first question is from Mike K. It says, yo, bros, what's Justin's magic solution for hair loss? I'm 32 and starting to lose a lot on the top, and it's driving me crazy. I'm embarrassed to admit that I care so much, but I just do. There's so much information out there, and it gets confusing, so hoping the old man who dipped his head in the fountain of youth can shed some light on this for me. Thanks, fellas.
I love how you added the little... masculine
Oh, you did?
Yes, I noticed what you did.
Oh.
You may have kind of Puerto Rican.
Oh, you do?
What's his name? That's Mike?
What's that magic?
That's Mike K. Yo, let me tell you what to do. You have to dip that shit in plantanos juices. All right.
Dude.
So here's the deal, okay?
We're gonna
First
get
of all,
canceled.
you can't cancel awesome, baby. I know how difficult this is from an emotional perspective. There's a lot of guys who deal with this so much more gracefully than I've been able to deal with it. And I initially I took like finasteride and used minoxidil, and then it just like stopped working for me like early in my 30s because I started losing it at like 19, and I just stopped it, right?
Well, you say losing it at 19. What does that mean?
Like I started thinning.
Take us through the whole levels.
I started thinning and getting like a bald spot back here and getting like diffusion in the front, and I would just notice, I was like, wait a second. Like nobody else would notice, but I was like, my uncle's bald, and I was like, oh shit, like is this, I'm like 5'7". I don't want to be like 5'7" and bald.
Oh,
and this
God.
is before like my body, like this is before like I sort of like came into myself and like owned myself, which kind of happened like when I got sober around the age of like 21.
We need to do for the Instagram. We need to find teenage pictures of you and I, and we need to start posting them.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I think they'd like that.
No, we will. But so when this started happening, it really started bothering me. And finasteride, which is, I'll explain what it is. It's a 5-alpha reductate inhibitor. I'll explain that in a second. Yeah, I'll explain the science. But finasteride and minoxidil work perfect for me. I didn't have to worry about it for 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it started diffusing again. Hang on, hold the science music right now, because right now I'm going to tell the emotional. We'll come back to the science.
Keep science on deck.
So then, at right around the age of like 37, it started again, and I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!" And I was like, ugh, like I didn't want to deal with it.
You say it's starting again. What does that mean? Clumps?
So then, not clumps, but like just diffusion, and like this is right when I had the CBS show, and it was like my hair was long, and then like I'd have to cut it shorter and cut it in different ways because it was like I couldn't, like the styling was different, and then it just started thinning and thinning and thinning, and I couldn't figure out how to stop it. Now, from an emotional perspective, I was like, I should just accept this and get over it, which I tried to do. So I went to therapy, right? And I have OCD, and OCD when there's things on your body, like OCD can really kick in where you get like a little bit of like body dysmorphia. It's a form of like OCD. So I was seeing a cognitive behavioral therapist, but I still like couldn't get over it, and it was driving me crazy. And then at a certain point, you kind of have to accept where you are. This is like, sometimes like you can't accept things. So I was like, but I can't accept the fact that I can't accept it. Because no matter how much I try to work on my acceptance, it's not budging. So I was driving myself crazy about, first of all, the physical condition, and then the emotional fact that, like, what's wrong with me where I can't get over this? And I was really feeling like shit about myself. And I was like, what's the lesser of two evils? What's the path of least resistance is to accept the fact that I can't accept this, which made it so much easier because I wasn't beating myself up about being upset about something, right? And I was like, and this isn't like just somebody being like, oh, I want to be handsome. It's like, it's a little deeper than that.
No,
you understand? It's like it comes into my disorder.
You and I, we're not 6'4" and jacked, and when you're under 5, well, I think when you're 5'9" is like the average. When you're 5'9" or under, regardless, it's just like you want everything else. You're already like, all right, well, I'm already down a notch from height, so now it's like if I lose my hair on top of that, it's like, and we're single guys.
Yeah,
like we'll never meet anybody.
Height doesn't. The last question someone asked about height today.
All right.
Height doesn't bother me, but fine. But same thing. Like this is the thing that was bugging me. So I was like, all right, I can't accept this. So here's what I'm going to do. And you know how they say, like, well, if someone invents something, a lot of times, like, pain is the path to innovation. It's when people need things or they're struggling that they get more inventive for what the next necessary thing is. Like, pain is the necessity for innovation. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep researching this and researching and researching this until I find the way to solve it the best I can. And while I'm doing that, I'm not going to beat myself up about the fact that it's fucking bothering me, and I'm going to work on myself in therapy, which I did. But I also learned a fucking ton. Now you can put the science music on, because here is what I know.
Kick it!
Okay, so basically this. There are so many factors that come into play with hair loss. There are nutritional factors, there are blood circulation factors, which is why some people can take liver support supplements or use like the laser caps, which help with circulation, and those things will solve the problem. The main contributing to the factor to hair loss is DHT on the scalp, which is a derivative of testosterone. So testosterone 5-alpha reduces into DHT. So DHT is important for development, for muscle development, for just sexual development. But what it does is it eats away at the follicles on your scalp, causing miniaturization. So as hair follicles go through their phases, which is the telogen, the catagen, and the anagen phase, which is basically growth, resting, and then the reproduction of the new hair comes in and pushes the next one out. When DHT is present on the scalp and you are sensitive to it, as most people are, what happens is you get miniaturization of those follicles so that the next hair is weaker and shorter, the next hair after that is weaker and shorter, the next hair after that is weaker and shorter until it just turns to fuzz. Those are called vellus hairs. What you are trying to do, and I'm not talking about getting a hair transplant, I'm talking about all the innovations you can do that are non-surgical. What you're trying to do is either slow, halt, or reverse that process, which you can. The way to do it is as follows, and people have different sensitivities to some of the medications that I'm going to explain right now. So the nice thing is that there are so many different ways that you can do these things and so many different things that you could put in and pull out. So if something doesn't agree with you, you can just go to the other one.
Yeah.
The big three are a ketoconazole shampoo, right, which is basically a dandruff shampoo, which you want at 2%. The one that you can just get off Amazon is called Nizoral, right, which makes your scalp more receptive to the products that you're going to put on it, and also clean away any bacteria and fungus. So it's basically cleaning your scalp really well. Go ahead.
Should I get that?
You're gonna see my doctor's gonna give you a lot better than that, but you can start that like soon.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Number 2 is you need something that blocks DHT. The typical thing that people use is Propecia, which is finasteride.
Yeah.
Finasteride blocks type 1 and 2 DHT, but there are 3 types. There's 1, 2, and 3. So if finasteride stops working, you can go to something called dutasteride, which is a little stronger. As long as you get your blood levels checked and you make sure that this is not affecting your body in a negative way, you should be able to tolerate it very well. That usually will reduce the DHT that is present in your scalp by about 90%. Okay, so now you have a ketoconazole shampoo, you have a 5-alpha reductate blocker, right, a DHT blocker, and then you also want minoxidil, which is typically Rogaine, which extends the telogen phase, the growth phase of the hair, and sort of keeps the holes open. Now, it is important that you do a minoxidil that is not too greasy, just because it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Using the foam is absolutely useless. There is no point using the foam. You need to use the dropper and the liquid, so it's fine to do it at night. You can also take those things orally and use them topically, and they are interchangeable. So, for example, a lot of times when people go, let me just start here. When people use topicals, right, they have topicals that have dutasteride or finasteride in them, as well as the minoxidil if your body doesn't tolerate it orally, right? They also make oral minoxidil as well as topical minoxidil. So there's all these different ways to attack this from all the different angles, both internally and on the scalp itself. Go ahead.
Does the oral minoxidil work better than the topical?
They are interchangeable. So like I said, you're attacking it from both aspects.
So you should do both?
You can. You don't have to. Some people respond to just the topical, and some people respond to like just the topical and the shampoo and maybe one of the 5-alpha reducers, then they don't need all the other stuff. But as things stop working or you need to bring out bigger guns, you can start to add these things on. I wouldn't suggest to anybody just do all of this at once. Like a responsible doctor is going to go one at a time with like each thing, right? Okay. I do all of these things because I tolerate them well.
Yeah.
Then there is also P.R.P treatments, which I just got. So what they do is they take your blood, they extract it. Now, I'm going to give you some tips on how to find the right person to do this. They extract it, they spin it in a centrifuge. That centrifuge brings the P.R.P, the platelet-rich plasma, to the top, in which they then use what's called a derma punch, which is like a tattoo needle, so it's causing microabrasions all over your head, so it starts the growth factors. Then they inject the P.R.P in so that the natural healing factors of your body rush to the scalp, and they are fixing those micro traumas. And you can see I'm fine today. My hair even looks fine today. It's not like your head is being ripped off. And it's just strengthening the hair out the follicle under the scalp. Now, here's what some people do. They're like, oh, I heard about these P.R.P treatments, so they just go to a dermatologist who is not an expert in that. You want to go to an expert in the field. Why? Because I went to dermatologists and I asked them how they do their P.R.P. They never told me little things that my doctor, who is very innovative, knows because he's constantly doing research on this. You should not be taking any Advil or fish oil 10 days before, 10 days after, because that thins your blood. My doctor also adds something called A-Cell, which makes the PRP last for about 10 days longer, right? It's just like, it just keeps it working in your head, so it's working right now. We don't need any more science music. I think everybody got the point.
It's so
good,
it's
it is good. So it's working for 10 days longer. He also does injections of dutasteride while you're getting the PRP. So he's attacking it from all these angles, and then there's all these little innovative things that happen. So when I was going to see different hair loss doctors for this, I was learning about these things and asking these questions, and they couldn't answer these questions. And if I would have seen someone that didn't tell me, like, oh, hey, by the way, don't take fish oil 10 days before or 10 days after, it's like there's thousands of dollars that I would have flushed down the toilet. It is expensive, but in like how expensive it is for what you're getting out of it is not that much. Like you can get this done for like, $1,500 a year. And to me, that's like worth it. So what I tell people to do is like those are the things that you can do is you want something that reduces the DHT on your scalp, either finasteride, start with that if it works, great. If not, you can go to dutasteride. A topical, the topical, like just a minoxidil topical. You can also get topicals that have the dutasteride and the DHT blockers in them. My topical also has stimulants in it, like caffeine. It also has not resveratrol. It's also got retinol in it. So it basically, you know how retinol, we talk about it for your skin. It makes your scalp more receptive to the products. And you can also do the micro traumas yourself, which is something that I do when I'm not getting PRP. Which is, can you bring up a Dermapunch on the screen? This is a 1 millimeter. It's like a tattoo needle. It's basically like a pen, and it's got all these little pins in it, and you just tap it on your head, and it does kind of hurt to do this, but in a weird way, it feels good. It's almost like people do. You could do this on your face too. It's great for your skin, Josh, because I know your skin is something that like you're always really go to the one.
I'm hormonal.
So what it does is, because it's causing these micro traumas, the one all the way on the right, and you can see that some of them, they have like a bigger pad to them. That's like a little one. I use one that has a bigger pad. Go to Dermapunch on Amazon and see what comes up. You just tap it on your head, and it makes your scalp more receptive to the topicals, but it's also making those growth factors happen even if you're not getting PRP, because those micro traumas, those little sort of pins, those little holes that you're making in your head cause your body to naturally send growth factors to your scalp. So doing all those different things results in keeping your hair for the most part. And I tell people can just sort of take these things one at a time. No worthy doctor is going to just throw all this at you at once.
So then to this dude's question, to Justin, he's Justin, to Mike K's question, what should he start with?
So I would say, like, first of all, you have to go see your doctor, right? I'm not making medical recommendations on a podcast called Himbos because I'm not a fucking idiot.
You're not? Wait,
no.
I thought you were going to say doctor.
Go see your doctor, right? Find an educated doctor about this. Make sure they test your blood levels. The things to do are a ketoconazole shampoo, a minoxidil topical, and then a DHT blocker like finasteride or dutasteride. If this guy's the age he is, he should tolerate those things very well. And if your body doesn't tolerate those things very well, now you know that there's all these other ways to get those things in your body. And then if those things don't work, then you can get hair transplant surgery if you are a candidate for it.
Yeah, my question is, I was always under the impression that minoxidil doesn't work in the receding hairline.
It does and it doesn't. Everybody's like different with that, and it will have benefits for some people, but that's not true. That's not. And there's the other aspects of the topicals that will, like dutasteride or finasteride in a topical is going to work on the front as well.
Okay, good.
And then there's also there's there's circulation things. Like some people are just like their diet is shit and they don't work out. Like you don't have to worry about blood circulation because you're working out the way you are.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be an issue for you. So where some people can go sit under those laser caps where it's literally just a hat that puts a red light, I know people got great results with that because their circulation was shit.
Yeah.
So for you, you're probably, you have what's called, I'm looking at your hair, you have the same thing I have, which is diffusion. So if you have diffusion, there's smaller hairs there that are going to get thicker that you're not seeing right now. And there's hairs right now that we are seeing that are going to get thicker, regain density and color as well. So that's basically what you're trying to do. But I know this fucking drives guys crazy.
Oh, it's like...
And women too. It drives them fucking nuts. I know women who are losing their hair and they're going out of their minds.
My sister's hair is thinning.
Right. And by the way, there's these products for women too. Sometimes they just have lesser percentages of the chemicals in them, and if you're pregnant, it's obviously different. And after women go through menopause, their hormones change. So there's all these innovations for them too.
You know what's fucked up? and this is like, why did God make human beings and men lose their hair from the top then down? Wouldn't it have been cooler if we lost it from the sides up, so by the time we're 80 we just have a fucking sick ass mohawk?
Would be badass.
Oh,
wait, you want to hear something funny?
What I said wasn't funny?
That is no, because it's funny. I'm gonna tell you. So I have so many jokes about this because what I like to do on stage is make fun of myself as much as possible.
Yeah, because you're a fucking himbo, dude.
I swear to God, I went to a spiritual retreat.
Oh, you God. Go. Yeah, tell me about this.
For people that had mind, body, for people that had like illnesses and ailments that medical science had no cure for. So it was like a spiritual retreat for like the mind-body connection. And you would meditate to bring yourself to like a higher frequency so that you could solve these problems, right? Okay. There were people there who were paralyzed from the neck down from car accidents that they have been in. And then we're introducing myself on the first day. They're like, why are you here? I'm like, I think I'm like thinning a little bit. I'm still friends with them though. They'll call me up. They'll be like, how's your hair? I'm like, thick. I'm like, how's your legs? They're like, still not walking. I'm like, shit, you don't know my hair loss, doctor. But that's true. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, I think that is, and I think we're going to go in really detail with it. We're going to try to bring the doctor on.
Oh, Dr. Wesley, he really. Oh, and then there's also vitamins that he gives you. I mean, there's so many different things that I take for this, and it's not that people are like, you do all that stuff. It's so difficult. It's like, no, I basically take 2 pills in the morning, spray a little something on at night. In between it, did you just fart, Josh?
Yes.
God damn it, dude.
I live life with no rules. I don't think about consequences. I just live.
You're so annoying.
Did you hear it in the? Did you get?
Hear it? I'm fucking breathe like my eyes are tearing.
I was hoping they would hear it. Didn't you see me? If you go with like, we'll pull a clip. You're gonna see me just suddenly turn to the side.
Can you not do it again?
It's funny.
You know what? Let me tell you who's not finding it funny.
You.
It's so bad.
I didn't poop today. So
that poop today.
That had to travel past poop.
Did you eat yesterday's poop? It's so bad. God damn it, dude. My eyes are watering. All right, let's go to the next question, please.
Next question is from Evan Dixon. It says, what up, himbos?
What up?
I broke my ankle and have been struggling to feel confident and productive and just being really depressed about the whole situation. What are some tips to feel successful and good while not really being able to walk?
Well, this is a hard one. When I saw that question coming up, I said, well, first thing you need to do is to get out of the depression. So I would read like The Alchemist. I would read
Good book.
I would read The Alchemist. I would read like The Power of Now or The Untethered Soul. Because obviously,
all good books.
Because right now you're depressed, so you got to get out of the depression and realize that you choose to be depressed. Now I get it because you are hurt. Mm-hmm. What I would say, and this is just my opinion, and maybe you'll back this up. I don't know what you do. I wish you could have put in the question what you do for a living, or like how far along you are in your career. Because the main thing is, if you can't move, start working on stuff that you can do for your career. That is, that you can do from the computer, from your couch, like sending emails. If you're looking for a job, applying for things. If you have a job, just get work done. Be productive. Do something that, and even if it's just for an hour a day and then the other 23 hours you're just watching television or listening to Himbos, obviously, on Mondays.
That's 1 hour.
That's 1 hour. Sometimes we go hour 15. But, what I'm saying is just I would love to know more. I would love to know more about you, Evan. So if you could, please DM us, follow up with us and let us know like how your situation is, so then I think we can like push you towards like, oh man, you're fucking into that, go do this, do this. Like, what do you think?
Listen, I broke my ankle and I almost lost my fucking mind. I went into such a fucking depression, and I started going on YouTube and looking at like what happens when athletes get injured. And it's if you're somebody like us who runs around all day, and I not only do I do this, it's stand-up comedy, it's working out.
Yeah, we a lot.
It was just like someone sewed my head to the fucking carpet. I got so depressed, and we didn't have this podcast right at that moment, so I was like in the creative hallway, and I thought I was going to go create little things that you take for granted. Like, I live alone, right? So it was like because you're on the crutches, you can't take a glass of water from the kitchen to the living room. So people had to come over twice a day, clean up stuff for me, hand me. Like I was going nuts.
Yeah.
I got the knee scooter. Oh, by the way.
Not one. You got two.
By the way, if this dude's in New York, I got this $500 knee scooter because I had the little one that was banging into every rock on this. You have to get the one with like the industrial tires. Otherwise, like I fell over it like twice with the broken leg.
Yeah.
But if this guy's in New York, or someone else who broke the leg, I will donate this to someone because I've said that I want to give it to somebody. I still have it. It was like a really fucking good one with air in the tires. But like I went to the gym. It took me forever to get there. I would stay there for like 2 hours because it would just get my dopamine up. But everything was so difficult, so frustrating. I was like, wait a second, there's not the stairs at the gym. Then they had to take me around to the back of the pier and let me up like the handicap elevator and then walk, like all these little things that you don't think about. And now I look at people when I see somebody with like a boot on their leg or, somebody who's worse off where it's permanent. I have such empathy for them. But I was reading as much as I could. I started doing some like self-improvement, but anything I could do physically. Like I posted videos of me going to the gym with that broken ankle.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, and people were like, oh, look at it. Like he's still like showing off. I was like, no, I kind of like, there were other people hitting me up because they had broken ankles. And I was like, this will be sort of helpful. But, it was like being physical, getting in your body is such a fucking important thing. And when that's limited in that way, let alone like, how difficult it is to just work out. But you take for granted the fact that, like, you get off a city bike, you get out of the cab, you walk downstairs here. When you're just sitting there marinating and thinking too much, there's so much just sitting and thinking. So the thing that helped me was also being like, this is not permanent. Yeah. And when I get over it, I'm gonna be so grateful to walk again. You know what I mean? And then the first day that Brutus came back, I was like, oh my God, I could like take him for a walk again. It was like, but it's not permanent. And to Josh's point, like whatever you can do those things. And if you can force yourself to go to the gym and work out, I felt so much better after spending 2 hours there. And the cool thing is because I was injured, I was like, I could spend 2 hours there.
Yeah, and also do what Justin did. Go on the BAMs. And by BAMs, I mean the broken ankle message boards. Go on the BAMs. There's a lot of BAMs out there.
There are. Dude, that was hugely helpful. I went on YouTube. It was like injured athlete depression. And I watched all these athletes talking about it. And I was like, that helped me a lot.
And their answers were, well, I still have the $45 million I'm getting paid. So it's not that bad. But yeah, send us a follow-up, Evan, because I'm very curious to, we'll dig into this one again.
Yeah.
The next episode. And also explain how bad your ankle is. If you can walk around with a boot.
Oh my God, I couldn't do that. I couldn't put any pressure on it for 2 months.
We need to show how you breaking your foot on
it's
video.
It's on my social media. I have that. I have like the workouts. I have like all the stuff that I was doing.
Good for you.
Okay, what do we got next?
Next we have, it says his name is Zaki.
I think it's 81 Zaki.
Oh, what is the 81?
I don't know. That says like screen handle.
Oh, okay. So it says, Justin and Josh, huge fan of the pod.
Love you, Zaki.
He's Japanese and an Italian combo. Will you guys talk about the importance of purpose and passion?
Oh.
What is it for you guys and how people can find that? Big love from Japan to you boys.
Dude, we got Japanese himbos out there.
Japanese
we got some Jimbos. Jambos.
Japanese. I have a joke that has the words ragu bukkake in it.
Jesus
Beautiful.
Christ.
Japanese Italian. Yeah, it's about
disgusting.
The punchline is ragu bukkake, so I'm giving that to you, 81.
That's his name from here on out, Ragu Bukkake.
Ragu bukkake, we're going to call you that. Go ahead.
I think this is I want to think about my answer for this because I mean, what's the importance of purpose and passion? So let's break down that sentence. Like obviously whatever you're doing, and I think I'll just do it in my case. Like for everything that I do,
make it personal, baby.
My passion is like being happy and doing what I want to do. So everything I do in life is to ensure that I don't have to answer to anybody but myself.
Me too.
And so for that, I work so hard. Time is the most valuable thing to me, and I realize that because I'm 42 now. I felt like I was in my 20s, 10 minutes ago, and it's like life is moving so fast. So and I say this to young people, it's like because I always got mad that I didn't start pursuing the entertainment field as a comic until I was like 27, 28.
Yeah, I started late too.
But this is the thing is like that's when I had to start. But But the moral of all this, sorry, I'm like, my old brain just fucking froze out. What I'm trying to say is when you start finding something that you care about, like, let it consume you. Start working immediately. I say that to anybody I meet that's young and they're like, well, I want to do this. And I'm like, how old are you? And they're like, well, I'm 16 years old. I'm like, then fucking start now.
So many people are so scared to do the things that they really want and love to do because they fear not having security, and they want to go the route that is more conventional and stable. And a lot of times people's parents don't want them to, whether it's, there's different things people want to do, but if it's the arts, a lot of times parents don't want them to do that. And I feel bad for people in that state, because I think that pursuing something that's difficult and making incremental progress on it and making a plan and delaying gratification and making mistakes and then trying again and then falling down and then pulling yourself back up and slowly seeing little incremental moments of progress is such a fucking satisfying thing for a human being. And It can be anything. Like for me, I've never had a job. I've always worked for myself, whether it was when I was like a chubby kid, I was like, all right, I want to get in shape. Then I became a personal trainer. When it was the thing with the dogs, I was like, this is a thing that I can do by myself. And then I built a company out of it. I fucked up so many times in entertainment where I started comedy. Then I got that dog show. Then I had to let comedy go. Then I wanted to start acting again at the age of fucking 40. Then I started booking roles again. And then this podcast, for example, there's so much I didn't have a podcast for a while after I left the one with Vecchio, and I was like, I really wanted one. And this specific thing is there's so much work outside of this part right here. This is the best part, right? This is the part I have the most fun. And there's the amount of work we do prepping this afterwards. It's basically nonstop. It's a lot of it is difficult and frustrating and not fun. But I'm like, there's certain things that I could never force myself to do if I thought they were good for me. I could start a dog care company tomorrow and be making close to $1 million with the name I have in that world. And I was like, every time I've tried to force myself to do that, I've never been able to follow through. However, when there's something where I really sort of feel it passionately, it drives me, and all the little things I have to do to get it done, or to sort of build the infrastructure. I don't even notice that I'm doing them. I'm just putting forth this effort, and my eyes are just faced forward. And during quarantine, it was rescuing dogs, right? It was fostering them, rescuing them, posting things. My charity is a thing like that. I look at people like Aviva, who's my training assistant, who watches Lekka and takes care of Brutus, our dogs. She was a bartender. She's fantastic with dogs. Didn't know what she wanted to do with her life. And during quarantine, I started giving her all this work. And now she does that full time, and it's a passion for her. My brother-in-law is a plumber, right? Not a plumber he goes and clogs your toilet. He has a plumbing company where they'll hang him from the rafters of a hotel so he can do the plumbing for the whole hotel, right? Yeah. And it's not that he's into water and pipes, but it's it's problem solving, and there's the business aspect to it, and his family is his passion as well. So the fact that he survives off of it and it feeds him, it's not just the arts. There's things that people are they get into. So for an example like Aviva, who's a bartender and not passionate about it, and then doing something with dogs that she, animals that she did become passionate about, that's not as difficult as doing something in entertainment. But there's people who love, here, Natalie's passionate about the techie aspects of what she does. She's fucking great at it. Don't you get fired up for isn't this fun for you?
It's fun for me, yeah.
Right. And so that's not the aspect of the job that has all the flash on it, but it's so fucking cool, and it's something she loves to do, right?
But she's a lesbian. Lesbians love tech.
She's not. She's bi.
Are you bi?
I am, yeah.
So you're passionate about dick and pussy.
It's true.
Nice.
But I think it could be. Listen, there's people who are passionate about tax law because they're just interested in learning little. There's people who are interested in biology, right? The thing so it's not specifically the thing, it's when people do the thing that they think that they should do because it's the more stable thing. And this just because some people are just passionate about making money. They love the fucking thrill of the sale. That's one thing, right? But the person who goes into finance because they think that's the thing that they're supposed to do while their heart is seeking this other thing, and there's this thing that they've always wanted to do, that's going to come up later, and it's going to fucking drive you crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I was passionate at a young age for comedy, but music was easy for me. And I always love this story. My dad said to me, "What do you want to do for a living?" I was like 14, and I was like, "Well, I want to be a rock star." And then he's like, "Oh, that's cool." And I was like, "But I also want to be a comic." And he's like, "You can't do both." And that's what I do now.
Yeah.
I created my own style or whatever the fuck it is because I love comedy so much and I love music, and it's easy. And it sucks, man, because I wish my dad was alive. He died in 2010. Because if he was here, I would rub it in his fucking face.
Why? He didn't support you?
I told you.
He supported you, I thought.
No, no, that's a whole nother episode, dude. But what I'm saying is find what you love and let it consume you. Whatever it is that you love, if that's what you want to do, or that's what you're passionate about, because Zaki, you know what you want. You know what you love. And if you don't have a job or you're not pursuing that, and you're doing something else, then you're fucking up at life because this is too short.
That's not necessarily. Listen, a lot of people. Listen, I have friends who it's like they have to survive at the same time, and the thing they want to do is not going to be able to support them. Like you and I have been fortunate where it's like we don't have a wife, we don't have kids, we can afford a lot of freedom. And so because of that, it gives us a lot of ability to sort of move pieces around. Like today, like we had to reschedule things, but it's like, the only person we're accountable to is each other.
Yeah.
Right? Not that we don't have like responsibilities and things like that. So I get that people are in situations in their life that don't allow them that sort of flexibility and freedom. However, it is important to not let those things die. Like, you can't let your fucking soul die.
No.
And it's like, and you know what I always love also is like, I respect people that I respect people who go with more conventional jobs that they know are going to make a lot of money, right? Doctors, finance. I don't have that much respect for the person who does it because they're just like, I want a lot of things because I don't have a lot of passion. Some people are passionate about a lot of things. That's one thing. Some people are, but I don't have a lot of respect for the person who's just like, or I feel bad for the person who's like, this is what I thought I was supposed to do, but there's that other thing that they know that they could have, that their soul really wanted to do. And then, what's also important is having especially in the arts, is an accurate self-appraisal. Like a lot of people are like, I'm funny and everybody tells me I should be doing this too. It's like, yeah, a lot of people shouldn't. There's a lot of people that are like not cut out for certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Having an accurate self-appraisal and understanding where something should be a hobby rather than a profession is great too. I know people who are like, they love the arts, and so they also have law degrees, and so they are the attorneys for like very big galleries, and that doesn't really scratch the itch, so they take pottery classes and do things like that and take vacations where they go on like painting. They find a way to work that shit in. Not everything has to be a profession. For me, you and I are both extremists where we're like, nah. Nah.
All in.
Like, I'm sticking the fucking flag in the moon with this shit. Like, I want to,
No backup plan, baby.
No
backup plan. You have like 19 backup plans.
No, listen. The dog thing is such a fucking passion for me. Also, it's something that I'll always love, and it's like it's a gift that I feel fortunate to have. Like, and also the relationship I have with the clients and the animals is just like it's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
And to bring it together with the charity Funny for Fido, which we've raised so much money and had some of the greatest comics in the world on that thing. To bring those two things together is like, that's like a beautiful thing too. So, but just like you did with music and comedy, like that's not something that like existed before I did it. Yeah. It was like the kind of thing where I was like, these are two things I love, and I wasn't thinking so much about like how much money it's going to make. I was more like, no, this is something I want to do right now, which is a little bit of like risky thinking, which I tend to be a risky thinker, but sometimes big risk, big reward.
Yeah, God, I should drop this now, even though this is not the quote that I'm gonna do for philosophy. No, I farted it out. That was last one. Also, I should vape away the next fart. I just vape. Well, I'll tell you, and then we both hit the vape at the same time.
Mine just died. So
don't do anything if you love something. And you're hoping you can make money off it, you can, but just do the work, stay out of the results, and just, don't look at it like you're doing something for money. Do it because you love it and it's fun.
Yeah, and if you have to do something to make money while you're doing that, you like make time to fucking do the thing you love to do.
I was a strip club DJ for 6 years, but I also had a passion for dirty bitches. I mean,
That's the philosophy quote.
No, I'll give you. I got a goodie. All right, you want to do this last one because I know we're running out of time. We
have two. You want to do the fitness one, or we have this chick?
I think we should do the chick because we already mentioned that one, and we'll save this one for the next time.
Okay, because we have what we'll say is that guy. We have Eric, and we also have another dude who's trying to start getting into fitness. So we'll save the fitness shit for the next one.
Sounds good.
Let's hear
from
the Bimbro.
Alexis from Texas. She says, "Hey boys, I'm not Alexis Texas, the porn star.
Boom.
Sorry, Josh."
Oh, she knows that you.
I am Alexis Texas.
She knows that you know the porn star.
I don't know all of them, but dude, Evelyn Stone. If you're watching this, Evelyn, I love you. I think you are the hottest woman alive.
Well, this girl, Alexis, is wondering how you guys feel about dating really tall women. I'm 5'11", and not particularly attracted to tall dudes just because they are tall. Often I've been attracted to guys who are shorter than me, but I feel self-conscious that they are self-conscious about it. Sometimes I know it's true because they just come out and tell me I'm too tall for them. This is frustrating because I was always tall, which made me feel super self-conscious as a kid and teenager. I'm not trying to complain about this because I know being tall is something a lot of women want, but in this instance, it's always been a question. I'm curious about both your thoughts.
You want to go or
you go?
Well, I've got a good story about because I think look, I'm not opposed to dating taller women. I have dated taller women.
The majority of my dating career has been taller women.
But but look, and it's like I think it's it was the Nicole Kidman with Tom Cruise thing. It's just like she couldn't wear heels, so. To try to like do that, there's ways to, in a sense, deal with it. But I don't think it's really awkward looking. It just depends. If I'm into the girl and we connect, if I'm attracted to her, of course. But if I'm also physically and mentally I'm connecting with her, then nothing is going to stop that.
Correct.
Can I tell my story?
Please.
So I used to work at this restaurant called Mozzarella's the American Cafe when I was like 19 years old. And I was like, this is Raver Josh.
This is Josh with the tips.
Frosted tippies. And I was a fucking horn dog, dude. It was like Melrose Place. Everybody was fucking each other. We were all partying, going to hotel rooms, getting fucked up. Like, people would go into the bathrooms and hook up. And it was just a party for the 2 years that I worked there. And they hired this hostess that, no bullshit, was like 6'6".
Nice.
She was so tall. She was so tall, skinny. She wasn't unattractive, but she was like Manute Bowl level skinny tall.
Yeah, that's like as tall as like one of the tallest players on the WNBA. Is that right?
She could be a center. She could post up Brittany Griner.
Yeah, she's taller than Steph Curry.
Yeah. Oh, I think she actually is. Yeah, she's like LeBron.
How tall is Steph Curry?
I think he's like 6'3". I think he's like 6'3", 6'4", 6'2". But she was really into me.
6'2".
And
Steph Curry 6'2".
6'2". This chick, I don't remember her name, but she was 6'2". She was 6'6", enormous, and she loved me. Like she would be trying to flirt with me, and I was like, nah, man, like you're too tall. But also like we just didn't vibe. But there was this guy that worked in the kitchen that was on Housework Release. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of those guys that would work. This guy Darnell, and I used to like do coke with him. I used to party with him, and he'd be like, "Yo," he's like, let's just call her Tina." And be like, "Yo, Tina trying to fuck," and I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm just not into it." He goes, "All right, man, I think that's stupid. She's fine as shit." And then one night, we were at this party at the hotel room. We had a Red Roof Inn, and we're all fucking partying. Everybody's drinking. We're all doing drugs, and I go to the bathroom to do some coke, right? And I open up the bathroom door, and there is Tina with her back like on the toilet, and like I can't see her like face, but I see the back of her legs that are hanging over Darnell's shoulders. Darnell is shorter than I am, by the way. I forgot to say that. And I mean, the legs draped over his shoulders, smacking him in his lower thigh, and he's fucking her. And it looked hilarious.
That's awesome.
And so, look, man, I think if you're a woman, don't be self-conscious about it. If you like a guy, shoot your shot. And if you guys vibe and connect, regardless if he's the same height, 5 inches taller or 5 inches shorter, it doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't. Can I come in on this?
Go ahead.
So listen, I'm 5'7", 5'8". If I stretch, there's a difference in that, by the way. Do you ever notice that? Like you stretch out, you like gain an inch.
One leg longer than the other, though. So I'm like a solid 5'9" on one leg, and I'm 5'7" on the other.
I have to tell you, the thing that height used to bother me as a kid because I was like a chubby kid who got made fun of, and I was never athletic, and it was like that kind of drove me later in life to like get in shape, and I was like awkward. You know, I had like these like big lips as a kid. I was like awkward looking and big buck teeth and like a space, right? And so it was when I started dating, the girl who became my fiance was 5'10", right? I loved her. I cared about her. At first, we just hooked up, and it was like, you know, that it never bothered me because of like who she was, and same thing, vice versa. Like it was never an issue. Anything that came up with when she would wear heels, or she would be like, you know, this much taller than me, but it was like it became funny, and it just got it out of my system. When people make fun of my like Justin's like a midget, but like this bothers me zero. And it's not a factor in my life. And for guys, let me tell you something. When women say, like some women just generally want a tall guy, that's fine, right? Care Bear's tall. Care Bear, what are you, 5'9"?
I'm 5'10".
Okay, Care Bear's 5'10". Okay, yeah. So I think we're animals, right? So when you're out there, you think like, what are the reason like men are attracted to big breasts for the most part? It's like because you're like they're going to feed the babies. It's like, you know, we're still animals. So when women see someone who's tall or built, they're like, this person will protect me and my young. You know, it's that fucking primal brain. However, if people have like the energy. They have the energy, and they own themselves, and they have like true self-confidence. And I'm not talking about like a put on front. I'm talking about like genuinely like have genuine self-esteem and a sense of self-efficacy. That registers as the same. And you know how many times like women who were taller than me that I've dated said, you know what, I never even realized that like you were shorter than me. Like it didn't register.
Yeah.
Because they're looking at something else. Like they're picking up on something else. And that only came from the fact that like it did bother me until it didn't. And like there's chicks I hook up with that are like who are about 6 feet. It gets a little awkward because things don't line up, particularly like when you're like for those reasons, you know. But other than that, like if I like the majority of the women I've dated and fallen in love with and had like significant relationships with have been about Care Bear's height. You know what I mean? And it's like it was never like that was never really an issue, and it's not something that they just didn't want to tell me because they didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know.
It doesn't bother us, dude.
It doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't.
It does not bother us. We will climb atop you to suckle your titty.
Yeah, it does not bother. I will. You can eat peanuts off the top of my head, and I will eat your box standing up.
Yeah, dude. I'll take a tallie, a tallie over a smallie. And actually, I want a smallie.
I like tall. I like them tall.
I like it. I got smallie, dude.
Yeah, and to this chick, it's like, listen, the guy who's like right for you is probably the guy who like kind of has got past the point of his life where this isn't bothering him, and he sees you for who you are. It's like, you know, that's like you want that guy anyway.
Yeah. Also, I would love to know how old you are because I would love to. I think you're probably at an age where it's like
30s. I would think like early 30s like, from this question.
It doesn't make a difference, man. Nature finds a way.
And short dudes, dude. You got fucking dap too, man. Don't that shit. Honestly, it gets to a point where it doesn't bother you, and then when it doesn't bother you, the people that think like. People who like go like, oh, Justin, like it doesn't fucking bother me at all.
Also, you're tall, so if you guys fucking have kids, the kids
are
going to
be tall
too. Yeah,
that's why I think I'm attracted to tall chicks. I think like subconsciously, I'm trying to like
you're trying to grow
breed up. I'm trying to get the Jews taller as a people.
Yeah, I wish somebody in my fucking family history would have fucked like a 6'9" Nigerian. You know what I mean? To make me 5'10".
Yeah, my brothers are tall. My dad was tall. But they have a stepmom. I have a stepmom who's tall. All right, dude. So that is it, man. Can
I say something? This episode came out on my birthday. It's my birthday, November 14th.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's my birthday. So send me birthday love.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Yay.
Happy birthday, Josh. All right, y'all. Before we get out of here, let's go to plugs. Josh, what do you got?
At Josh Adam Myers on all social media. I post clips daily on Instagram and TikTok and my YouTube. Josh Adam Myers. It's youtube.com/Josh Adam Myers. Josh Adam Myers for tickets. Sunday the 20th, I will be at the Comedy Store doing a goddamn comedy jam. The 21st. The next day on Monday, I'll be doing a shimmy shimmy ya in the main room of the Comedy Store. Then I will be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas at the Rio Hotel, November 28th through December 4th. And then that weekend, I think it's the 8th and the 9th, I will be at the Comedy Connection in Rhode Island. You want to come? You want to come fucking himbo it up?
I may do that.
Yeah.
I love that room, and I love Corey and Dave, so maybe I'll come and we'll
Come and
Maybe
party.
I'll jump on one of those shows,
dude. But just keep sending us your questions and just I love these so much, man. So thank you guys for listening and just keep supporting the show. And Justin, what about you?
It is at I am Justin Silver on all social media platforms. I post my dates on there and also on my website IamJustinSilver.com. I got the link tree so everything connects to everything else. Got a bunch of shows for the New York Comedy Festival. All those are being posted on my social media, and then some road dates coming up soon. For this podcast, it is Himbo's Podcast on all social media platforms. Himbospodcast at gmail.com to submit those questions that Josh loves so much. We also have those badass retro Himbos t-shirts, which you can find on our social media. So please pick up one of those. Again, thank you for liking and subscribing on YouTube, for the 5-star ratings and reviews on iTunes. Keep them coming. You want to say something about the t-shirts and
dude, get the t-shirts. I wear that. I wear my Himbo's t-shirt when I work out, and it's so comfortable.
So soft.
It's so soft, and it is. You can wear it. It's a great lounge around the house shirt, and it's also a great muscle pump shirt. Trust.
Yes. And with that, let's get some philosophy from Josh.
All right. I like this one. It kind of goes with what we've been talking about today. Your body hears everything your mind says. Said by Naomi Judd. That's a good one.
The philosopher Naomi Judd.
Yep.
Guys, thanks so much for listening. We will see you next week.
We are the Himbos. We are not bimbos. 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 Himbo body. Himbo mind. Himbo souls. Himbo philosophy. Himbo fashion. Himbo fitness. Himbo grooming. Himbo science. We are the Himbos. We are not bimbos. We are the Himbos. We are not bimbos.